All righty, and we are back. Wasn't that a great read that I did in the future? I woke up this morning, ba-doo, boop, and last night I had a 7:45 a.m. flight, right? So my wife, 3-pointer for Wisconsin. They're up 75-69 with 2 minutes to go. So I woke up last night. I told my wife that I had this 7:45 a.m. flight. She goes, you know what, I'll give you the ride to the airport. I go, all right, you're a sweetheart. And then she mentioned that there was the L.A. Marathon. And I was like, well, we'll get up early. We'll be fine, but blah, 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 blah. So we wake up in the morning, and we start driving down the street, and every street is blocked off. So ended up jumping on the highway, just cruising down to the LAX, and she kept about the traffic she was going to run into. And I was going, look at the other side of the highway. There's nothing here. You know, oh my God, my life isn't perfectly comfortable. You know how women are, right? The second the fucking AC is 1 degree too fucking cold or it's too hot, they just start bitching. You know what I mean? And for some reason, we don't just go, just shut up. You know, I don't know why we don't do that. Why we don't do it more often. They're just fucking addicted to fucking complaining. So she's bitch moaning and complaining, right? All this fucking crap about the goddamn traffic. Meanwhile, if she had a 7:45 a.m. flight, I would have fucking driven her there and I wouldn't have given a fuck. But granted, I'm a morning person. She said to me, she goes, how the fuck are you this awake? She's one of those people that hates getting up in the morning. She's like, how the fuck are you this awake? And it's like, well, you know, I had a paper route. From the time I was in third grade, I had a paper route. I never knowingly lied about sleeping in. I had a paper route from third grade until freshman year of high school. I kept that paper route until freshman year of high school, to where it was like weird. Like I was coming up, like my voice had changed and shit. I was still delivering newspapers because it was considered a little kid job before the bankers completely fucked over everybody and has everybody upside down in a house. And now it's like actually an adult second job delivering newspapers. And I kept the job because I liked having money. Like my whole life, I had money. Like if you had a paper route right in the third grade, like you had no overhead. You didn't have any rent. You didn't have any woman in your life. Right? You couldn't drink. You couldn't do drugs. It was just whatever you took home, you had. It was perfect. Spending on football cards and fucking candy. That's the only thing I could buy. What else was I going to buy? A sandwich? I didn't give a shit. So I always had fucking money. And I always remember that. Like kids fucking always bumming money off their parents. Like when I got into junior high. I didn't. I always had like an extra $5 on me. Which $5 was like having $50 on you when you were in the 6th grade. I mean, lunches, I swear to God, were like $1.10. You could get doubles for $2.20. I know, I'm old. Go fuck yourself. But that's what it was. It was like $1.50 maybe for lunch. Something like it. It was $1 and change. So I remember that. People be asking for quarters and shit like that. I always looked at it. I thought they were pathetic. Even back then, I was like, dude, get a fucking job. Always bumming money off of your parents, but then I was jealous because they got to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays. And the paper that I delivered, the Boston Globe and the Boston Herald, came out 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I think I told this story before. I went from third grade until 6th grade before I finally had a day off. I did it every single day for like 3 years, and the only reason why I did was because we finally took a family vacation. We were gone for a week, and I remember we let I forget who we let do the paper routes. I think it was the newspaper company themselves. We let them do it, and I came back, had all these fucking complaints because it was some like fucking 27, 28-year-old guy who was out getting pussy the night before, so he would just drive down the street and just fucking throw them, you know, with a rubber band around it, elastic, whatever the fuck you say in your part of the world. Just throw them out the fucking window right into a puddle or into a shrub, and no one could find it. And I remember coming back and everybody bitching at me. I mean, it was terrible. I wasn't here last week. I was on vacation, but my first one in 3 years. Could you let me in the house? Maybe I could warm up. Do you notice my nostrils sticking together every time I fucking inhale? That means it's cold out. What is your problem? What happened? The one fucking week. I was on a 156-week tear where you got it in your fucking door, dry, every goddamn day. 7 days a fucking week. You're going to break my balls because I took a week off? Right there. That should have let me know. That should have let me know what I was in for when you get fucking older. Just that constant, there's always a fucking problem. You know what I mean? And just somehow you just gotta I don't know. You know what? If you guys can figure out a fucking way to get a woman to sustain happiness, they can get it. But to get him to sustain it, just go for a nice 3-4 day. When's the last time your wife or your girlfriend 3-4 day run was in a good mood? Just cruising along, letting shit just whatever. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I don't know. How the fuck did I get on this fucking tangent? I apologize. I never knowingly trashed women. I never knowingly lied about my experiences with them. Wisconsin's going to win this fucking thing. Now they're up by 10. Shit. I'll tell you, basketball, it's a game of runs. I saw this thing today where Yao Ming is, he's in China now, and he has like a fucking, I don't know what he's doing. He went to some big summit in Beijing, right? This poor fucking bastard. The guy's like 9 feet tall. Like his head is above the smog level in that goddamn town. And he's going in there fighting the good fight for his people, right? And that's all I'm thinking, like, wow, what a great guy. I mean, this guy's got all the money in the fucking world playing in the NBA. He doesn't have to do this, and he's worried about his countrymen. And the guy's walking up the steps, right? You can just see, fucking people like who are that tall, they're never comfortable. Nothing's built for their size, They fucking, the amount of work their heart has to do to fucking, their heart's the same size as ours. That's why you don't see like a bunch of 7 foot, 70-year-olds. The only guy you can think of is Bill Russell. Everybody else like dies in their 50s because your heart is the same size as a guy like my size, like 5'10", and it's got to pump all that blood to your tippy toes every fucking time. It's a lot of goddamn work, right? You got the RPMs, you're redlining it there. So here's the guy walking up all these fucking stairs, 8 foot tall dude, wearing some suit. He doesn't have to be there. And you should see the picture. There's a bunch of people taking a picture of the guy. It's like, fucking leave him alone. He's going in there making sure the next time you double park, you don't get run over by a tank. Right? Can you do the guy a solid and get the fuck out of the way? I don't know. Is that weird? Is that weird for me to say that? Is it weird for me to be filibustering on my own fucking podcast because I still haven't got the questions or any of that shit for the week? Jesus Christ. I'm going to send another fucking text here. By the way, I told you guys that I was going to go out and buy a nice fucking car. I know what I'm getting. Oh, there it is. Hey, sorry about the delay. Sending now. Was waiting on ads. Okay, cool. I know what the fuck I'm going to get. And I'm not going to tell you guys so you don't rip it up. I'm buying an old car. And I'm buying an old car that's going to cost me about $4,000 with a straight body. And then I'm going to get the fucking interior done and get it all fucking painted right. And on top, it's going to look like the mid-'60s when the car came out. And underneath is going to be fucking 2015. Just like those cars I see them making on Fast and Loud. I watched that show so much. I fucking love that show. And I'm trying to think of a car I ever saw them make that I didn't like. I mean, I love most of them, but the worst I ever had is I still liked it. I still appreciated what they did. They just make such great fucking cars. And I got sucked into that shit. And I was just sitting there going like, why go out and be another douchebag driving one of these? Every fucking sedan looks like a goddamn dinner roll now. They all look the exact same. Or I can go out like Richard Rawlings does and find a fucking car. Granted, I don't know how to do it, so I'll pay through the nose, but I don't give a fuck. I'll find a car that looks cool, that has potential, get the fucking thing painted, redo the interior like it just came off the factory, and then underneath, everything is fucking 2015 fucking technology. That's what that's my game plan. And I'll wait till the build starts going. And this one I'll actually show you pictures of when I get this thing done. It's going to be a mean looking fucking car. Unfortunately, I have weird taste in cars. I like to think it's original, you know? Every fucking jerk-off baby boomer out there wants a Shelby, right? They want a GTO. They want the fucking whatever. What is it, that 67 Corvette tri-power thing or the split-window one? Everybody wants the same fucking 5 cars. And meanwhile, you got all these other badass fucking cars that are just sitting there. Wisconsin wins. Was that the Big Ten championship? Yeah, they got the hats on and everything. Unless that's like an AFC championship hat. I don't think it is. No, Big Ten champion. Congratulations. Congratulations to the University of Wisconsin for winning the Big Ten, the 2 Big Ten basketball championship at the NCAA Division I level. And congratulations to stand-up comedian and excellent fella, all-around fella, Nate Craig, who's from the great state of Wisconsin, who actually has me now. Him and Jeff Cesario actually are 2 comedians that I know that are big Wisconsin Badger fans. So they actually got me into Wisconsin. Plus, the last time I toured through Wisconsin, Nate worked with me, and he knew all the spots to go and eat. All that fucking dairy and shit out there. Had a great goddamn time. All right, so let's get to some of the